All right, all right. Welcome everybody to another night of Let's Talk. My co-host Jules, and joining us
Hello.
tonight, Ms. Jamesia Aristil.
Hi.
Hi everybody. We got a great topic for you guys. So if you're an inspiring business owner and you have some questions you would like to ask, or you have some stuff that you don't understand, we're here to help you with
Hmm.
the help of our professional here, Ms. Jamesia.
Hi, Jamesia.
Hi. Thank you guys so much for having me here today. I'm glad to
So
be here and to answering, clearing some questions because I know people had questions. And I'm so glad you guys actually decided to do this segment with me.
So yeah, talk to us. So educate us on some of the things that folks can be looking forward to when you want to start your own business.
Well, there's a lot when you wanting to start your business. So my tip is what I always recommend when somebody wants to do that is basically to
Hmm.
do some sort of research to try to see who is going to be your target market. So once
Hmm.
you have an idea who your target market is, then you're gonna know, you're gonna try to find out what they're interested in, where they're
Hmm.
getting out at, what questions do they have, what exactly are they missing, so that way you can
Hmm.
fill that void that they are missing.
Yeah, because
Okay.
sometimes we start these businesses and we find out we're competing with the big boys, and you wonder why you're not getting no sale. And a lot of
Yeah,
folks need to
because you
understand
need
that.
to, you have to, when you telling somebody what you do, you have to be able to, they have to hear that. It's not just you yapping at them, but they have to hear that. They have to see that you
Hmm.
actually speaking to them directly.
Yeah, yeah, I totally understand. Yeah,
Okay.
because I see a lot of folks sometimes when they're, especially like online right now, we got so many boutiques being open,
Mm-hmm.
and they're trying to find ways to drive sales, but they forget that you competing against Amazon, Facebook. I mean, yeah, a lot of Facebook stores. You know what I'm saying? eBay. So,
Hmm.
what makes your product different?
Right, but sometimes it's not even about making your product different because at the end of the day, we all in the business we're all at the same thing. We're all trying to get money. That's
Right.
that's the
Hmm.
business we all in. So it's not when you ask somebody, well, what kind of business you in, and then they said, well, I sell shoes. Actually, no, that's not the business you in. You just happen to sell shoes, but we're
Yeah.
in the business of making money. So that's what we need to understand. Once we
Yeah.
Ooh,
Well,
I like
understand
making
that,
that.
money
then the way you do it, okay, so the way I get money is from selling
from
shoes.
selling shoes.
Then
Yeah.
that's different. That's the way you look at it. And that's how are you going to get money? It's basically through marketing. So your first thing
Right.
is to market and getting yourself out there and telling people what you do and making you
Right.
authentic. What's your authentic self is what's going to attract them to you, but
Yeah. You know.
also from the beginning, I'm sorry, when I did speak about having your target market and stuff like that. So once you know,
Hmm.
if you know your target market hang out on this particular group on Facebook, you want to put yourself into that group as the influencer, as the person that has the
Right.
answers. You don't want to always
Right.
telling them, well, here's my product. Here, buy this for me. Here's
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
buy this for me. You want to be the person that they come to whenever they have a question.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, social media is a big drive for businesses. Like now, I don't think a lot of people
Yes.
realize every four posts is an ad now. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes, yes,
you have to find ways for yourself to be included in that Facebook algorithm, as they call it.
yes. And that's the
Yeah.
other thing about with this algorithm. Like you could have a whole bunch of people following you, but when you're posting something, it's up to Facebook to show it
Yeah,
to them. So
yeah,
it's not really the people
Yeah.
that don't see you or that don't care. It's really Facebook who's actually not showing it to them. So at the end of the day, you end up not having any choice but to advertise and having to pay
Yeah,
them
and
to
we
show
Yeah,
and
it.
we caught on to that. Yeah, Facebook, they do that. Like you can have, like you said, you can have 1,000, 2,000 friends. Facebook will only show people 5 people.
Hmm.
They'll show
Yeah,
5 people
and
what you're
sometimes they do it
advertising
so
just so they can
late. By the
buy.
time they show it, it's like it's already five
Yeah,
days anyways. It don't even matter.
yeah,
okay,
right.
now we
That's
got the
true.
marketing. Now there's people that have ideas, but they don't know how to start selling to make money out of those ideas. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So what can you say to those people? Like they want to open up a business, but that's people that hustle. We all know somebody that hustles, but a business and a hustling are two different things. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
what are the steps that people can take, like when you really legitimately want to open up a business?
Yeah, so once you decided, this is something that I can actually make money from, then that you're
Hmm.
going to be serious about it, but you need to be legal.
Right.
You have to put yourself
Yeah,
in a position where you're gonna say, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and make that business legal. You don't want to do everything, and then at the end of the day, you're not registering it.
Right.
Because you need to protect
that's true.
yourself from having that also. And that's the same
Mm.
problem people was having when we first had COVID, and they did this PPP, and then
Right.
we had all these frauds going on because they didn't start the correct way, and
Yeah,
that's why
people have
in my
businesses, but
business.
not legal businesses. They have a business with no
That's
license,
true.
so they think they could get a
That's
loan for
true.
that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And while
Yes.
we're talking about this, can I ask if you could actually explain the difference between being a sole proprietor and self-employed? Because I know a lot of people get all that stuff mixed up.
Well, when you self-employed, is that means you work for yourself, right? But
Right.
you could be a sole proprietor and also self-employed, because when they say self-employed, that means you employ yourself, right? So if you're a
Okay.
sole proprietor, that means you have your business running as you. So
Right.
everything that comes is just on you. You could go into your state and register your business as a sole proprietorship also.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the
Okay. Because I
reason
know a
people
lot of
do,
people get it mixed up.
yeah, so they get that mixed up because when you say sole, that means one. So that means it's you,
One.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
So you are self-employed regardless if you have an LLC or if you have a C corp or an S corp. It doesn't matter what it is that you have. It's still your
Okay.
self-employment. That's you.
Okay. Okay. That's good
Yeah, because
information.
when the sole proprietor, he just basically mean you like the one owner. You know
Yes,
what I'm saying?
yes.
Hold
So
on.
you
You ain't a
chose
self
that to
owner,
only be
but
you. Yes. So that means if for some reason, like if you have a shop, for instance, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
you sell shoes. I'm gonna take that example.
Okay.
When you have people coming into your shop, and then that person end up there was some water on the floor, whatever, God forbid, and then boom, they slip and fell. You as a
Oh
sole
no.
proprietor, you had a home, you had cars that's paid for now, and all this stuff that you had. Now they're suing you. They're gonna come after you. So whatever you have,
Okay.
they will take.
Wow. That is really good to know right there.
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Like for myself, well, us, I'm not gonna say myself. So we've been legitimately in business for like a year now, and I
Yeah.
have to go back to school to really learn how to manage a small business because it's not just buying and selling. There's all the
Hmm.
rules that come with managing a business. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Yeah.
there's a
It's a
lot
lot in
that goes
between.
into it. Yes, and
Yeah.
And
then
a lot of people, especially the accounting part and the tax part, nobody explain the taxes and how you because you got to pay the government. You know what I'm saying? They want their money.
Yeah.
yes, they
Yeah.
do. And before I actually go into that, I wanted to just give you an insight. So when you are husband and wife, if you form a business,
Right.
IRS automatically say it's a partnership.
Okay.
So you have
Ah.
to tell IRS that it's not a partnership. So you physically have to tell them that it's not a partnership.
Okay. Yeah. So you basically gotta register your business as a sole proprietor to make sure that they know it's not a LLC.
That's two different things. When
Right.
you're talking about taxes and you're talking about you getting your business registered, that's what people always get that confused. You could be
Okay.
registered, which is, I don't recommend you registering as a sole proprietor if you have stuff, like if you have things under your name that's personally, like if you have a home, if you
Right.
have some other CDs and stuff like that that's under
Okay.
you, you don't want to do that as a sole proprietorship. The
Sole
thing is,
proprietor.
because you want to limit yourself from any loss that's gonna come through. And as a business owner, you need to know there are risks. So one of the risks is
Right.
about lawsuits and stuff like that. So if you only are a sole proprietor, then you're not protecting yourself from those risks.
Right.
Uh,
Because like you said,
like
if anything were to happen, oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Renell.
yeah. Let's talk about the risk though, because every business doesn't have the same risk. 'Cause like if, like for example, somebody opening like a fashion boutique, somebody not going to sue you for, an outfit compared you selling food and everything. So the risks are kind of different. So I
Yeah.
think that's why
Well,
people gotta try to
it,
understand when the risk is
Well,
higher to
it's kind
protect
of like
yourself.
the same. It's really the same. So I'll give you the example. I'll take the shoes
Right,
place thing and then the restaurant thing. Okay.
right,
So
Mhm.
if I go into a restaurant and then I ate something, it made me sick or whatever. I go home, I seek medical treatment, and then I'm
Mhm.
taking my bills to the restaurant owner.
right,
That suit is called a liability suit, right? So
right.
I go
Okay.
into a retail store, the shoes place, and I slip and fall there. I go for medical treatment. I
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
file a
yeah.
Mm.
I
complaint.
understand.
It's
Yeah,
a
I understand.
suit, so it's a legal liability that's right
Yeah,
there. So
yeah. If you have a
either the
physical location,
restaurant and the shoe place, they both need to have the same liability insurance, because it doesn't matter what happened, it's going to be kind of
yeah,
like
you're gonna be at
under the
fault for
same
something.
umbrella. Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I
Okay.
understand with that. With since you have a location, so somebody coming in, anybody can get injured in your location. So you have to protect yourself at all
Correct.
times.
Yeah.
Correct.
I
And then
mean, so
that's
I
the
think
thing.
would it be different if the business is online? I'm sure, right?
Well, if the business is online, the risks are a
Mhm.
little less than that,
Right.
because you don't have people coming in and falling. You don't have stuff like that.
Right.
The
Okay,
the
yeah,
the
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
real
That's what I was
risk.
trying to get at. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah. So if something is online, and the risk could be most likely somebody receiving something. For instance, somebody could buy something. Like I had somebody. This is a real case. Okay, somebody
Oh
purchased a
boy.
microwave heater, or the cover thing that you put in the microwave.
Right.
Uh-huh.
You would never imagine that would become a
A
problem,
liability.
right? So that person specifically said they reported they put that into a microwave, and then the
Uh-huh.
microwave exploded.
But that's not your fault though.
But
That's
still, that
permissibility.
person bring that over and said it was a problem with what they bought. So it's
Yeah,
not like
Yeah.
they didn't go into the store, they didn't fall, but still
yeah.
that particular item they
It's still a
purchased
It
risk.
becomes like a
caused
liability right there.
something. Yes.
Yeah, that,
Yeah. And
yeah. I
people
guess that's why
always try to
you need
find
insurance to protect
something.
yourself from these scammers.
Yeah.
Yes. So even if you sell shoes, or you whatever it is that you sell online, there's
Yeah,
always a possibility that it could cause something else when the person receive it. So somebody could
Right.
they get bed bugs or whatever from buying your
Right.
sheets or whatever. That liability insurance is for
yeah,
every single
That's
business should
true.
have that.
yeah. Because
Yeah. I
I
didn't know that,
remember
Erica. That's
a
good
few years ago we
information.
were just working out as a group at a local park.
Oh yeah.
One of the park people said because there's more than five, I need insurance.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not a business. You know what I'm saying? We just a family working out. They're like, they don't care.
Yeah.
There's more than five of you guys here. If somebody were to fall, somebody got to pay for it. So you got
They
to register.
right.
I'm like, why do I need a business to work out with my family at a park?
Yeah,
I'm not
it
a personal
makes
trainer.
sense. For you, it may not have made sense, but for them, it makes perfect sense, because if something happened to
Mm-hmm.
you guys, then it's like it's gonna be on them. They're gonna
Yeah,
have
they,
to.
they want they,
Yeah,
they
they'll
want to
be
protect themselves
liable.
as a business.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so I have a question. Oh, were you done, Renell? I'm
Yes.
sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm wondering. So can I run personal expenses through my business?
That's a big no. That's a big no.
That's a
There's
no. Okay.
there's no way about it. That's a big no.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
with people thinking, and I know sometimes, and the big thing now, everybody's working online. Everybody's doing
Yeah.
everything from home and
Yeah,
stuff like that. So people think if they go and register a business, if the business is actually
Mm-hmm.
registered, and then they have some sort of expenses that's personal in nature, it's okay because they're working from home, and it's not. It's not. If you
Okay.
have legitimate expenses, it's okay for you to take for your business. But as if you put that P word in there, that's a straight no.
so what are some of the
Okay.
examples of
Personal is a no no.
legitimate business expense if you have a home business?
Well, give me an example of one business, and then I could tell you specifically what that is. So,
All right. Let's say, for example, a lot of people have boutiques online, right?
mhm,
Mm-hmm.
Which they're using a portion of their household
mhm,
as storage. You
mhm.
know what I'm saying? So what part of that can they say is part of a business expense? That like the utilities or you know what I'm saying?
Ah, that's a
So
good
that's two
question.
different things, right? So your home
Yeah.
office is different than saying your personal expenses.
Right,
So if you're
Okay.
running a business from home, like me, I
right,
actually have two offices in the house here.
Mm-hmm.
And what the IRS says, the rule is that has to be your main office for you to
right.
take that. Okay, so you need to
Okay.
measure what part you're going to take specifically for this particular business. So
Okay,
my business is also online. I run a coaching business, so
Okay.
I literally work every day from Monday through
okay.
Friday
And your office?
doing that. Now, when I sit in this chair, everybody know, even if I'm not here,
Yeah,
they know if anybody asks, oh yeah, this is her office.
you at
Whatever
work.
that's
Okay.
in here, it's for my business.
Okay,
That I
Right.
don't even
Right.
eat here. This
Ah.
is to show you how you supposed to take that seriously. I don't even eat here. If I have to take lunch, I literally
Uh-huh.
pick up myself and I move over to the other chair.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
is that just in case where you get audited and they'll at least know for sure that this is your office, this is where you do your work
Yes,
compared to
and
the rest of
because
the house?
that's how the rule is. That's what the rule says you have to do. You have to
Okay,
set one
Wow.
place in the house that's strictly for your business only. You can't be in the kitchen one day, the
yeah.
next day you in the living room, the
Huh.
next day you in your bedroom.
The whole house is a business.
The whole house is a
You know?
business.
Yeah, and
Okay.
then when
Okay.
they
So
asking you which space of the house did you take, you have to be able to say if the house is 1,400 square foot,
Yeah.
you've taken 200 square foot, and
Okay.
okay.
then you could say your bill, your water bill is this amount, your light bill is this amount. You'll be able to take that portion that belongs to the business.
And
Of
deduct
course,
it for your
you
tax.
can't take the entire thing just because you move from one day to one room, the next day you in that room, and the
Yeah.
other day you in
They're
that
just
room.
all over the place. Okay.
Hey, that
I
makes
mean,
sense. That's
okay.
why I
So
think a
since
lot of
you
people, especially like those realtors, you know, they do everything from home or on the phone in their car. You know what I'm saying? I'll deduct my whole gas tank that I travel as a business expense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, when it comes to your
yeah,
business, your expenses, you deduct every single thing as
Right.
long as it's
and that
business related.
and that's home office expenses as well.
Correct. Your
Okay. Okay.
auto, your home, all of that.
Okay.
But
Wow.
again, it's that's why that's the beauty of having your own business, right? Because when you remember when you are if you go to work, you have a W-2, your
Yeah.
employer tells IRS how much money you make. If you are your
Hmm.
own, You tell IRS how much you make, and
Yeah,
you
Yeah,
tell them
that's
how much to tax you on.
mm-hmm.
That's the beauty of
Yeah,
entrepreneurship.
I like that better.
now that's one question I want to ask you, because I hear a lot of people. A lot of people make that mistake, because there's people that owns businesses, even though they're sole proprietors, but they still register as a LLC.
Kelsey,
You feel
yeah.
what I'm saying? Even though there's no
So
liability. I
yeah,
mean,
so the thing is, if like me, I'm not a sole proprietorship. I registered as a limited liability. So when I registered my business, it's an LLC,
right?
right?
Okay.
So yes, I have somebody else also
Right.
that's in the business. So it's two of us.
Okay, so yeah, so it
Um,
makes sense.
but if it was just me in the business, like before when I first started, it was just me. It
Right.
wasn't nobody else, but it was still an LLC.
Mm-hmm.
So the way you protect yourself from that, I don't know if you guys have heard the term, it's a legal term, piercing the corporate veil. So
Uh,
if you are an
It's a new one.
LLC, it's supposed to be a company.
right. Your
Everything
company
you do, it
do as
has to
company.
be for that company. So for instance, for
Okay.
me, I pay myself, like, it's tax season.
Right.
We, my, January to April, I don't take the money like once a month or whatever. I pay myself regularly. Like if I
Right.
know it's a
Mm-hmm.
Friday, I'm gonna pay myself on that Friday, and I'm not gonna take 2,000 just because I make 25. This month I'm gonna go ahead and automatically just take 25,000.
So you got to
It
separate your
don't work
Okay.
business
that way.
expense
You have to
from your
set
personal
it
expense.
up properly. So the business makes the money that's coming in, it's not my money. It's the business money. That's the same
Right.
thing with your
Business.
children. They're people too.
Mhm.
They have their own name, they have
Right.
their own social everything. So you look at the business as its own person. Whatever
Mm-hmm.
it does, it's its own everything. If you
Okay.
want to get paid, the business have to write you a check. You don't just go
Wow.
in and take it. If you
And
want
take it.
your car note to be paid this month, and I see paparazzi owners do that all the time. I'm like, oh my gosh,
I
that
know.
like,
I know
that
you're a
get on my
tax
skin. They always say, "Oh,
professional.
typical
I know you be
paparazzi.
cringing,
I got this, I
cringing at all
got
that
this."
stuff
I'm
you be
like, no,
seeing.
girl, you can't do that. You need to just have paparazzi pay you on the
Yeah.
regular basis. You can't
Yeah.
just take the money
Right.
from your account and pay your car note or pay your rent or
So
pay
you have to
whatever
have
you
some
need to pay.
discipline. You have to have some
Yeah, you
discipline
have
being a
to have
business
the
owner.
discipline, number one, and then you
Yeah.
have to have a business account. So that's number two
Yeah.
tip. You need to have an account for your business.
Business
That's
So
a
account.
must.
I don't
Okay.
There's
see
no
too many
but
people using.
about it. You need to have that done.
I don't see too many people using the S corp compared to the LLC. Why is that? Like, especially if you're a sole proprietor, why nobody really register as an S corp compared to a LLC if you just do sole proprietor? Isn't that kind of like the same
Because
kind
they
of
don't know.
information?
They don't know. So the thing about it is, with the S corp, you have to make an election with IRS. So
Okay.
everybody,
Mm-hmm.
you could be a corporation. When you go to a business, like you see the Inc. INC, that's the corporation. If you see the LLC, that's the limited liability
Uh-huh.
company.
Limited
Okay,
liability.
so it
Okay.
could be either an incorporation, the Inc., and it could also be the LLC. Both of these could be an S corp. That's my daughter.
Okay. Yeah,
Uh-oh.
right. She got some tax tips for us too.
Right.
So it doesn't matter. You go to Travis here. Go ahead, go.
Okay. Okay. All right. So
Yeah,
I
'cause
mean, if you're a person, like you said, that actually works from home and you
Wait a minute.
actually
Yeah.
take your break, you might want to
Sorry.
Uber eat some
Here,
food or
go.
something like that.
Okay. She's good.
yeah.
Can restaurant meals be written off as an expense?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Uh, you
Can
said can you
restaurant meals be like
deduct like Uber Eats and stuff like that as an expense?
yeah, like if you work from home and then when you take your break at home, you Uber eat or something like that. Like can the restaurant expenses be considered an expense?
No,
Something.
so if I take, no, Leah, you can't do that. Go over there and do that. Go, Travis. If I am, as a business owner, if I go
Mhm.
to a restaurant, if I want lunch, and then I
Okay.
say I'm gonna take myself to lunch, that right here is not, and I'm
It's
gonna
not
repeat
business
that
expense.
again, not a business expense.
Look,
You have
dang
to get
it.
set to lunch, man.
The
You
business
take the,
expense is when you, if I was to take you, a business
Uh-huh.
prospect, to lunch, then it becomes a business
Ah,
related conversation.
okay.
right.
Then it's a business related. If I reach out to someone, if I want to work with someone and I said, okay, let's have lunch, we could talk about it
Okay.
during lunch. That right there is a business expense. But for me, I just take myself to lunch. It's not a business expense. And if I take my
Okay.
husband, because sometimes, people do that, they will take their husband on their significant other. It's not, unless if you guys are discussing business.
Okay,
Business.
okay, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I
Okay.
think that's why a lot of the big corporations they be getting into a lot of trouble. They go to these little trips and write it off as a big business expense and
Right.
everything. You know what I'm saying? And then they get audited and they can't figure out where that $50,000 went. You know what I'm saying? Well, it went to
Yeah,
Vegas.
but you can be smart about it. If you want to take a trip, you can
Yeah,
be smart about it. If you know you're gonna go to Haiti, for instance, right? And you said,
right,
okay,
Mhm.
well, I'm gonna go to Haiti. What kind of business you think? What business do you do? You do shirts, right?
right.
So you could make shirts in advance and then take this over there. And then you could have, if you have somewhere in advance that you're gonna have people come in to see, if they
Mm.
want to see what you showcase, what you sell, that right
So you got
there will
so
be
you
a
got to mix
business
business
trip.
with pleasure at the end of the day. Then just in
That
case,
would be a business trip because it's
yeah,
business
yeah.
related.
It's a business
Right.
trip, but whatever pleasure you do, that's on you. You know,
Right.
if you want to go hang out
Wow.
for a
Well,
little
this
bit,
is
that's on you.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go hang out, I mean, if
It's,
you're working in your business at least 4 6 hours a day, then
yeah,
it's
you're not working all day.
fine.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think a lot of people think about that kind of stuff, man. They should focus on the partying, not tying the two together.
Yeah, if you
right.
do your stuff in advance and okay, well, if I'm gonna go to China or whatever, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna try to find merchants? Are you gonna find people that's gonna be able to ship your stuff? You
I'm
know,
going for the food.
Now,
if you go to the food, that's not gonna
you
be
do have
part
a
of it.
program that you offering some of that stuff to, right? Correct.
Oh, yes, I do. I have, it's a one-on-one where I sit with the individual and then we go at it. So
Oh,
basically, I
nice.
teach. See, my background is will. I have a corporate background, and in my corporate
Mhm.
background, I have insurance, I
Right.
have legal. I have paralegal. So I have all
Mm.
these background in the tax
Okay.
that could tie into all of that in together because I know how it all works in together.
Right.
So in the
Right.
corporate world, when you're starting a business, you need to have that business structure.
Yeah, because a
In the
lot of I think
corporate,
they need
yeah. So
the accounting part.
when you go into any kind of business,
Yeah,
there's the department that handle customer service. There's a
yeah,
department that
Yeah.
HR.
handle this, HR. There's a
You got a law
department that
department.
handle benefits.
Yeah,
Your business should be set up that way.
yeah, but
You
sometimes
need to
it's
have
like
that.
when you're the sole proprietor or LLC when you're small, you have to do everything
Yeah,
on
you
your
do
own, but
everything.
you may not know
That's
about a certain
true.
part,
And
so you
then
got to
that's
outsource that.
true. I believe me, I know because I do that. But at the end of the day,
Mm.
you still need to set up your roles. So
Yeah,
if you're gonna say, okay, this department, how many departments do you have now? You have
Mhm.
5 departments. Okay, so you're doing all these 5 departments because that's the whole planning part. Because
right.
you don't
Mhm.
want to be that. You want to be the CEO. So you want to be the person, the chairman, to actually tell everybody what to do, not you doing
Yeah.
everything. If
Yeah,
you
and I
don't
think
have it
that's how
planned
people be
out, you're not
spreading
gonna
themselves
know.
thin.
Yeah, and you need to write everything down. It cannot be on your head.
Yeah, accounting is a big part of running a small business.
Yes, it
Scheduling and everything.
is. It is because it could break your business if you don't know
Yeah.
what you're
Yeah.
doing. But nowadays they make it easy. I mean, I know with what is that accounting software that they sell?
Is it
You could,
QuickBook?
yeah, you could use that for what, $29, I think, and they have everything there for
Okay.
you. A
Yeah,
month now. It's not just a one-time fee. But I know they
Mhm.
have more. You know, I think that's the cheapest one is $29.99 or
yeah,
95.
they have different options and everything. Yeah, because trying to keep up with everything, man. I don't know, man. People don't understand when it to be. I know it scares a lot of people to start your own small business, but you have to look
Yeah.
at the reward once you get everything situated. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it's very rewarding. It's very rewarding. You know, it's that part where you could just get up and then somebody's not in charge of you. Like
Yeah,
when COVID hit, and that was the big thing when everybody couldn't. You realize if you have to take vacation, you have to write it in a piece
Mm.
of paper. Ask somebody if I could take this vacation. Like,
Oh wow.
tell me again, who is in control of your life? People always say, well, I'm in control of my life. No, you're not. Your boss is in control of your life because you
yeah.
can't
I
just
mean,
leave.
Mm.
you got to ask them for when
You
to
have to
start.
I
ask.
don't like bosses. I do not like bosses.
Yeah.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in. If you have any questions for Jamesia, please go ahead and you could ask in the comments, or we can send you the link if you want to join in the conversation, man. Because we'll try to
Yeah,
get
because this is some good
everybody on board
information.
with running the business, whether it's small, big, one person, 10 people. We're trying to get you educated on running the business properly, so that way you can focus on making money.
Yeah.
Whether it's small, big, one person.
Oops, sorry.
Yeah,
You,
it's cool.
okay.
Yeah, so yeah, go ahead and ask some questions, man. You could pop it up in the comments. I put it on the screen. What's up, Derek? I got my boy
Hey.
Derek here.
Oh, I can see.
Thank you,
It's
Derek,
so
man.
choppy on my
Derek
end.
is one of my homeboys. He's also run small business, man. So he knows how it is to run
What's up,
small business.
Derek?
Yeah, so if he doesn't have, so the other thing I like to talk to with my small businesses. So you have an LLC, and then I know it's only you, but I know it's not a requirement, right? But
Hmm.
you still need to have some sort of operating agreement. You
Okay.
need to have it. If you go into a bank and trying to get a loan, they're going to ask you for that. You're gonna be like,
Hmm.
oh, it's only me. And then the other thing is, well, you need to have meetings. And then the
Hmm.
some people say, well, it's only me. I'm gonna just be talking to myself. No, that's not what we're saying. That you're gonna be talking to yourself, but you need to know when your meetings are supposed to
Be
go. Like if
scheduled.
it's a
Yeah.
quarter meeting, like every 3 months, you're going to have
Yeah.
a notebook, which is what I have.
Right.
On this date, this is what we discuss. Even though
Hmm.
it's just me telling myself, but that's what the meeting is. And
Yeah.
you
Okay.
have to start doing that for your business. And that's the whole thing about piercing the corporate veil. Because if you don't have stuff like that, then you're not a business. And they're gonna be like, well,
Mm.
it's just really you. So there's
So
no
is that
difference
why?
between you and the business.
So is that why when people do these PPP loans, they get in trouble because they try to call themselves a business even though it's just themselves? You don't
Yeah,
see
They
and
made
no,
that.
you're
They
not.
made that personal.
registration.
They made those PPP loans personal.
So, funny story, right? So I had a client. See, I didn't do the PPP thing because I felt like this is too much work for me to do, and they wouldn't be able to pay me. But he called and asked me if he heard that they were giving away $10,000, and I said,
Oh
"Really?
boy.
I didn't hear that. Where did you get that from?"
They
He
try to
said,
get
"Well,
in.
it's
Right.
in the news. I heard they giving $10,000. Can you do that for me?" And I'm like, "No, I don't do that."
For
So,
your license
Absolutely
already.
not.
and then that was the end of the conversation, right? So then a couple days later, he called me again. He said he found somebody that's
Oh
gonna
Lord.
help him do it.
What are they at now?
So apparently, they were charging, my peoples,
Yeah,
you
they
know,
charge you that money.
period.
There's always somebody that's gonna do it for you. But later
Wow.
on, when you get locked up, don't. Hey, it's your license. That's
Yeah,
that's
so
the
he
evidence.
got $10,000, and then they took. I think that person charged him two, so that person took 2,000, and then he got eight. And then
Yeah,
I told him, well, what exactly did they do for you? And then he
Derek
said,
said he
well,
won't
I
even do
got
it.
the money they were giving. And I'm like, well, you're not a business. Well, how would I
Right.
qualify for that? Because I
Yeah,
do your taxes. I know what it is. So
yeah,
apparently what they were doing is that person that's doing the loan themselves, they're
you're right.
creating these documents for them.
Yeah, Derek said he wanted to do it, but he's not a
Wow.
business type. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
Right. I
when
don't
he
blame
asked
him.
for
I don't blame him at all.
forgiveness, they were asking him all this paperwork. And then now he's calling me. I'm like, I don't know what to
hey,
Now
tell
he
you
wants you to fix
because I
it.
can't.
yeah.
I'm not
Now
going to
you gotta
forge
fix it.
a document and say that's not something that wasn't there for me to give to you, just so you could prove you
Yeah.
were a business.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Yeah, I mean, when you're a professional, people don't. You give them the right advice, they take it for what it is. They're like, man, forget you, man.
Yeah.
I just. But then you gotta be Mr. Fix It. I'm like, look, man, I didn't do it. Don't call
Be
me
like, I
for it.
don't want nothing to do with that.
I gave you my best advice.
Yeah.
You didn't take it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and
Yeah,
that
like me
happens
and
to a
Derek,
lot of people.
we're too scared. I'm not into all that. But a lot of people that want to start businesses, like one thing, like for me, for myself, I feel like if they invest into the stock market, a lot of people can fund a business without needing all these loans and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like there's
That's
ways to
true.
get money to start a business
Yeah.
without having to take a loan.
Yeah, that's true. There are ways, but sometimes also, it's longer.
Yeah,
The person wants the money right now. If they want the money right
Hmm.
now, like with COVID, that was different.
yeah,
If the person already have a business, then it wasn't their fault that the whole thing crashed. But if
Hmm.
somebody actually is starting out, I always recommend that they actually get the money saved up or
yeah.
something that they were already having the money. You could be working your 9 to 5 and still
Right.
save
That's
the
it.
money
Exactly.
to fund
Saving.
your business. You don't have to
Right.
do all this crowdfunding. You don't have to go to a bank to request anything. But at the end of the day,
Right.
too, if you want to scale your business, sometimes the loan is necessary.
Yeah, but a lot
Mm.
of people they want to start big right away without knowing if the business is gonna be successful later on. So you just gotta like start small and take the little steps and
You just
grow
have to
your
do it.
business. So
Yeah, and so I heard something the other day which stuck to me, right? Somebody said, well, you want to have a big business. If you want to sell shoes, how about you just sell one shoe at a
right,
time? You sell one shoe, that shoe, then you don't take the profits. You just go ahead and take that same profits and put it right into buy two shoes. Then you buy
Right.
five, and then by the end of the year, you'll be able to run a full business with
exactly.
that only instead of you
That's
having to
true.
take a
That's
loan.
true.
Because I don't like the loans. My business been running for 10 years now. I didn't take loans.
Yeah,
Now,
That's
I don't like them either,
awesome.
yes,
man.
You don't have to
I
pay
am debt
anybody back.
free.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I
There's
am
a
debt
budget your
free.
finance slowly to work on beginning your business and start small and work hard. I mean, that's all you gotta do.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
mean,
Yeah.
there's ways to start your business without having to take a loan from the bank. Now you're gonna be working on paying the bank back with your profit.
Yes. Then you're
That's
gonna be
true.
like that, trying to pay them back because your head's gonna be hanging somewhere.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
plus a lot of people open up these credit cards, the business credit cards, think like they could charge up everything, and it's like, hey, this is a
And
business
they
expense.
do.
I
And
mean,
they do.
you still got to pay all that stuff back. You know?
Yeah.
Yes, you still have to pay it back. So if you didn't plan
Mm.
properly,
Yeah,
if whatever happens, you're still responsible for it at
And
the
you're
end
gonna
of
put
the day.
yourself in a hole.
yeah, because that's why a lot of time when people say like my business not making progress or profiting, but you have to look at what all these people you paying with that little money you're making already, and then when you think about it, it's all about the profit. You didn't start
Yeah.
a business just to be paying everybody off. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So
Right.
Mhm.
you got to see how much profit you're making. Once you pay all that business expense and everything. So you can.
Yes, all that plays into it. You know what you invested, and you know
Right.
how much money
Hmm.
you're supposed to be getting back, and then you know all your other expenses, And then if it comes to it, if something's left, then you pay yourself. And that's the other thing too. People always ask, but how do I pay myself? Because it's hard. You know, when you're first starting, sometimes it's just not enough to cover everything, you know. Sometimes you do have to take that loss and not take a pay from the beginning until when it's actually starting to get money. Then you can pay yourself. Because sometimes you're going to end up deep in more trouble, because if you don't plan ahead of time, because you need to have money that's at least 6 months ahead of time to run your business.
Wow.
Okay, so
okay.
Since the topic is steps to start your own business, so what are the steps? Like if you have a plan, you want to start your business, so what should be the first step?
Yeah, so your first step was to get it legal. Well, you already, the first step really is for you to get your market, your target market. You need to know who that person is. You need to hang out with them and trying to figure out what they want, how they want it, what you could make their life easier, because the whole point of a business is to make somebody else's life easier. Whatever the problem is, you want to solve that problem. So that's the number one. Number two, once you figure that out, then you need to get yourself into that business, making it legal. You know, once you make your business legal, then you need to try to understand what type of business that you want.
So when you want to make it legal, like what website or what are the departments? Like let's say in Florida, for example, I know I have to go to the Sun base to register. Then you have to register with the federal IRS, all the other stuff. So
yes, so you go into the Florida sunbiz.gov, gov, I think it is, or that org, one of these things. So you go in there and then you register your business. So then you trying to figure out which one you want. Do you want a sole proprietor? Do you want an LLC? Do you want a corporation? And you choose which one you want. Once you make that decision, then it goes to the tax side, right? You're gonna go ahead and you're gonna need an EIN number if you're gonna have employees and stuff like that. And for some states, your EIN is also your tax ID number.
Right.
So like for Florida here, it's like your EIN is everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so your next step, once you have your business registered, your next step is to get that EIN. You got that EIN, then you need to get a business account. That's a must. That you cannot skip that part.
Yeah, just to separate your personal funds from your business funds, so that way you're not spending business money on your personal vacations and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. So the next part is when you choose which election you want for IRS, how you want IRS to tax you. So you know you have the S or you have the C. That step, people always miss that because no business consultant ever talk about that because they don't have the tax knowledge. They don't know. So they always tell you to go ahead and do an LLC and then you stop there. No, you don't stop there. There's an extra step. You have to tell IRS which one you want. If you're a husband, like I was saying, if you're a husband and wife, IRS think it's automatically a partnership.
Right.
You have to tell IRS if you want the S corp or a C.
I think sometimes LLC sounds so good to people. It's like it makes them feel like they're more like it's like saying you're a CEO. You know, like even though you're a sole proprietor, like who, if you the only sole owner, like you the CEO of what? You know, everybody want to say I'm a CEO. Like that's not if you CEO, but you ain't making no money. That make no sense.
Yeah, so people always get that, and sometimes they think with the LLC it's better, whatever. But the only part that's good with the LLC because it limits you from it separates you with the business, so it separates the person from the business. But then at the end of the day, if you don't separate you,
you're gonna be liable.
Then you're really not protected. Like it depict the purpose that you were doing anyway from the beginning. Okay, and then with the election for IRS, you only have so many days to actually elect that. So if you let that go, IRS will actually tax you later because you didn't make that proper election from the beginning. Right. And once you make your election, you have to stay into that election until 5 years later.
Oh, okay, dang.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot of good information, man. I don't think a lot of people knew about
A
that.
lot of good information.
I mean,
And I wanted to
some of
ask
this
you too
information
before we
is actually public knowledge. I'm gonna put this on the screen real quick. So if anybody would like to go online and search, a lot of stuff is free. You can just go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the
SBA,
SBA is
Small Business
pretty good with
Administration.
doing that. Yes.
yeah.
I mean, of course, we're gonna need the professionals to translate all that. A lot of people don't even know what half of this code mean on the screen. You know what I'm saying? That's when Jamesia come into play. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yes. So what I always tell people, because you can do it. Of course you can. I mean, it's not a secret. You know, the things that, and you know, all these things that you see online, none of these people invented anything.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
it's not new. You know, the only person that created something was God. Everybody else was just following something else. You know, we just in something that we saw something, and then we say, "Oh, okay, I'm going to do that," and then I have the passion, I'm doing it. Yeah. But the thing is, you need to have the skills that's needed. That's the other thing. When you start your business, you need to have that skill that's needed to have you to run your business. So, for instance,
they're gonna focus on making the money instead of making the business run properly. Get all the knowledge so that way it can flourish.
Yes,
like
when you plant
a seed, you don't just stick the seed in the ground and think it's going to grow. You got to nurture it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So you got to solve the foundation of the business first, and then it's going to flourish into a successful business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then that goes. The example I normally share with people, like it's the part about brushing your teeth, right? People are like, "What that got to do with business?" Okay, well, you get up every day. That's what you do every day,
right?
You know,
right.
So the same thing with the business. You have to nourish it, and the way you nourish it is by you getting skills. So the skills are the brushing your teeth part every day. So if you don't have the skills, you can hire someone to do it for you.
Yeah,
show you what the steps you're supposed to do and stuff like that. You know, Google University is good.
Yeah.
But if you really want to scale it, if you really want to take from A to B, you need to be able to have the skill. You don't, not everything is worth Googling because somebody put it there, you know, and you may not know.
Right.
If I put something on Google, that's on me that put it, you know, that was my perspective, you know, in comparison to somebody else that do it.
Right.
It's gonna be, everybody's gonna be, you know, you read one article from this person and you read another article from another person. So it's like, okay, you know, but if you have a professional, you could hold that person accountable. If they told you something that wasn't right, that person is accountable for what they actually told you.
Well, you know, like a lot of the community colleges now start offering a lot of classes for entrepreneurship, small businesses, you know, being a business strategist. So in less than a year, before you even start your business, you could take a class to better understand. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, no matter what age you are, you can always start a business, but you can also always gain that knowledge. You got to take that extra step to find that correct knowledge of the business that you're trying to be in, so that way you stay successful. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and that's important. You know, you need to have that skill. And then the other thing is, you don't have to be born with it. You know, some people are born with something. You know, like a comedian, they're born. Some of them, not all. You know, you could tell somebody is born with that, so they're gonna take that to the next level. But you could want to be a comedian. You don't have to be born with it, but you could study the art of it, and then you'll be great at it. And that's the same thing with entrepreneurship. You study what you want, and then you master. That's the part, you master it. Once you master, because I could talk about taxes in my sleep.
I had a question that I actually wanted to ask you, And I'm
Good.
sorry, my connection has been kind of bad on this end, so it's been kind of. But I wanted to ask you, as far as the taxes, I wanted to know what happens if a business does not file for taxes. Are there any like penalties or something like that? Like what happens like if a home business, if they forget to file their taxes, like what happens to that company? I know
Well,
the
so
no.
I'm gonna go at it in two ways. Like the first way, I'm gonna say, so if you have a business that you never ever file a tax for that business before,
Uh-huh.
it's fraud. That's how
Fraud.
IRS look at it.
Yeah, so
Mm.
we could use that to jump into our next segment. So tax tip for small business owners.
So IRS look at it as fraud because I'm gonna tell you a story. I don't know if you guys heard. I had shared that before. This guy that was arrested and he was actually
Uh,
sentenced for not paying taxes on selling drugs.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
So they said it
I-
was a business.
Hey, it is a business.
That's
And he was
funny.
buying houses, he was buying cars. You know how they do. They
Yeah, and that's the
buy.
thing. Like, you got all this fun, you don't know. You can't even say where you got it from. You know.
Well, they were
Right,
watching
right.
him, so they knew
Yeah.
where that
So you
money
know it's
came
gonna be some
from. So
penalties.
they wanted to make an example out of him. So they charged him for that tax evasion. That
Tax
was
evasion.
the correct wording because he didn't pay his taxes from selling from the money that he made.
I mean, but
So,
that's a big thing that goes on with these a lot of these celebrities. I guess
The
even
celebrities. I just thought
being a
about Wesley
celebrity, you get your
Snipes.
money up front. It's up to you to pay your taxes. And they think, like, oh,
yes,
I
Yeah.
got $5 million. Big Brother America needed money. Uncle Sam needed
yes,
money.
Yeah.
yes. They always
Happy
forget.
with
I don't know,
MC
for
Hammer
some reason
too.
they always forget to pay taxes.
Yeah.
So as a small business, you need to
Uh-huh.
set money aside, and that's the rule that I always tell everybody that I work with. You need to set money aside. So
Money aside.
if your shirt is worth $5, for
Derek.
instance, you're selling a shirt for $5.
Right.
How
Mm-hmm.
about you sell that for 7 instead? You're going to take that $2, put it aside so $2 for each shirt that you sell
Yeah,
goes for taxes.
you have to account,
Taxes.
and that's the
Yeah.
thing. A lot of people don't quite understand when it comes to the pricing of your product. They're like, "Oh man, why are you charging $25?" As a legitimate business, it's not just me selling you the product. There's all the people I gotta pay.
Exactly. That's
Right.
all
You know
your
what I mean?
Right.
expenses. You have to take all that into account and
All they
add
gotta take
into
into account.
the bottom line. Yes. And
If not,
everybody's
I'm
price is
making two
not your
dollars
price.
after I pay off everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So Uncle Sam need that money. The state need their
Yeah.
money.
Everybody needs their money.
So everybody got to be, one thing I could say too, when from being legitimately registered, you get to save that tax when you buy the product. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when you file your taxes, you got to give back that money.
Yes,
Right.
so the business owners, they always forget that part. So when we used to work, we go and receive that paycheck.
Yeah.
It wasn't an option. Where actually it was an option, but we always thought it wasn't an option. So we always
Right.
check that one where we pay taxes on, right? So business owners think for some reason because they work for themselves, that's not
They
the
got to pay
same
no
thing.
taxes.
There's this thing
Mm.
that's called estimated taxes. As a business
Okay.
person, you need to do that.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things I found challenging is paying the state tax every 3 months, and you got to stay on top of that. Because
Yes,
the
you
sales
have to
tax,
pay that. So the state is different than the federal now.
yeah,
You
that's
still have
federal,
to
but
pay the
remember,
state,
you
and you
got to
still
pay
have to
that
pay
every
the
quarter.
federal. Yes.
So it's just like, dang, like, and if you don't pay it on time, you're gonna get fined. So you
You
wasting
have
more money.
penalties. Yes. And that goes the same with the federal too.
Yeah, so it's just like if you have to make you have to make the necessary pricing so that way
Yeah.
everybody get paid.
Yes, exactly. So you need to make sure that's done. So in your tax tip for businesses, the number one thing is making sure you set aside that tax so you could pay it later on. And that estimated tax is for real. You need to pay it. You do not need to wait at the end of the year when you file your federal tax for you
Yeah.
to pay it. You need to pay that on a quarterly basis.
Yeah, Juju kind of clicked off because her connection was very bad.
Okay.
The Wi-Fi is bad in every room, so she'll jump back on once she fixed the technical difficulties. Go ahead, unplug it and turn the Wi-Fi on, baby. Yeah, two of us on that same network is too much. Disconnect the plug, the cord, and turn the Wi-Fi on the signal. All right, yeah, sorry about that, man. Technical difficulties. Too much juicy topic right now.
There's too much that we're talking about now. It's saying, she's dropping too much. Like if anybody that's watching right now, they could also go to my page. I have a business page, which is under my name, Jamesia Aristide. They could like my page. I share a lot of information on that page. I also have a website, which is my name as well, JamesiaAristide.com.
All right, let me pop it up so everybody can see it. Is that Jamesia Aristide? Is it .com?
Yes.
All right, here you go. Let me share it on the screen so everybody can go join Jamesia. Go ahead and contact her so you get all your tax tips. Career building, academy, and I think stuff like that. That's what the Black community needs.
Yes.
Because we don't share enough information with each other. You know what I'm saying? And
yes,
people spend more time going on YouTube scrolling all day instead of actually looking for good information. So she's gonna join me on the same screen. Look at her.
I'm sorry, my connection was so bad I just could not get in it. But yeah, you shared a lot of great information.
And you can see a lot of the people she have helped already. So go ahead and give her a holler. Give her a call, check her out. She'll help you with all your business needs, tax needs. I mean, we need stuff like that, man.
Yeah.
We gotta try to pull everybody in and get everybody on board, man. Because
yes, I'm a believer that everybody, is shame on you if you know if you don't know something, then that's okay, But if you know something, then you still decide to continue the same way, then that's shame on you.
Yeah. You know better, you do better.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it should be. Yeah.
My boy Juice brand, you know what I'm saying? Another small business, man. We have so many small business owners in our circle. It's like folks don't understand how much your neighbor may be doing something, but you don't know what the right caliber it is. You just gotta show support, man, and we all gotta help each other with the knowledge and information and everything. You know what I'm saying? And Juicy Juice is a major brand. Juicy Juice in Central Florida area. You know what I'm saying? So what else can you tell us, Jamesia? What other tax tips folks need to know to make sure they don't get caught up with the government?
Well, they need to document. I always say that. Document your information, right? So if you, back to us eating dinner, right? You want to have a notebook when you go into that dinner. You're going to put in today's date. You're going to put in who you had the meeting with, and you're going to put in what specifically you discussed during that meeting.
Okay.
But then that way, if you get audited and IRS says, I'm not paying you for that, you went and picked the most expensive, because we do that.
That's not.
You went and picked the most expensive one to go to. Now that was not tax related. And I'm like, wait a minute now. Let me pull it up and I'll show you that it was tax related. And the other thing is, when you go into that business, when they give you that receipt,
right,
in the back of that receipt, make that person that you spoke with or whoever that is, have them sign it, please.
That's a good one.
Yeah, because I'm going to show you right now. Look, hey, I got my bucket,
and it's not the only one. It's another one.
It's the first year. You know, I got my bucket, every receipt, everything I buy. I hope my tax guy. I hope he's ready because I got a whole bucket of stuff, man. You know what I'm saying?
See, I don't like clients like you. I like them to be organized. Because
hey,
that's why
you see, every time I go, hey,
I need my clients. I get them into the point that they know.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go through that.
Yeah.
You're gonna do
make
it.
life easier too now.
Hey, you see,
make it easier.
Before it was what, October 1st gonna be the first year of registering with the business, and you're the first person I call. I was like, yo, what do I need to do with this tax thing? Because before we even launch, I want a clear understanding what we need to do. Because I don't have no hey, we got no child support problems. I only IRS come after me for some other money. You know what I'm saying? So that's why like people got to stay on top of that and have a true understanding. Like, yeah, you could be making money, but you gotta also know like you gotta pay those taxes, man. If not,
yes, you have to pay those taxes. But then at the end of the day, if you really document all your information, you may end up not paying anything. They may end up owing you.
That's what I'm saying. So, because I've been thinking about it, man. The tax, especially like
hey, Derek.
Yeah, Derek is an entrepreneur, man. He on board
right now.
Yes, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that you actually the information is helpful for you. Get your pen. Yeah, these are the information that they charge a gazillion for. You know.
You gotta stay on top of that tax stuff, man, because a lot of us, that's how we get caught up. You know what I'm saying? Like we're thinking we're so busy making money. And and then before you know it, you got that letter in the mail, your heart drops.
I don't want to go to jail.
Then it's like, so what do a person do when they get one of those audits? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So when you get a letter from IRS, do not leave it closed. It needs to be open, and we need to know what exactly it's for. IRS they're nosy.
Yeah.
So they want to know stuff. That's fine. If they want to know something, we're prepared. We'll be able to give them whatever they need. But you need to open that letter, take it over to a professional, because you can't handle it by yourself. Yeah. Sometimes IRS, when they send letters, it's not all the time that they want you to pay. Right. Sometimes it's just them wanting to have confirmation that really you are qualified to take that whatever deduction or credit that you said you deserve. They want to see that. Right. It's not necessarily that they want you, I'm going to pay, but no. But if you really know your professional is a real person, that they know what they're doing, they're not going to owe. Because I remember a couple years ago, I saved one of my clients $10,000 just like that.
Nice.
Because he received the letter. He actually owed $25,000. So he received the letter. He closed it.
Fire scared. Bless you. You're too scared of IRS.
Scared of IRS.
Yeah. Yes. So he finally opened the letters. It was like when he received the fifth one, he's like, okay, oh my gosh, I think I really need to open this. So he opened it. And then thank goodness that was the one before they actually levied all his stuff.
Oh man. Yeah.
So we caught into that. And then I saved them $10,000. But at the end of the day, he didn't end up paying $25,000.
Yeah, they could have that 10, man.
Yeah. Now I was gonna say, is there a deadline that businesses need to file, or does it depend on the business?
Yes, it depends on which tax structure you have. So if you are C, it depends, or if you're an S. So if you neither, because some people, they'll just neither. They're not a C or an S. If that's you, then you go on your personal return, which is the regular deadline, which is April.
April 15th. Okay.
Normally businesses is in March. So
you gotta file your state tax for like sales tax, and you have to file the federal tax, which tells you the total amount you made for the year, basically.
Yes. So if you have a good accountant, that's
Yeah.
doing it for you. It's very easy. Like if you don't have the money, and I really truly believe if you starting from the beginning, it's best to invest from the beginning. So
Yeah.
you go to the person because some people that's what they actually do. They help you start up. And then once you get into that phase that you actually understand what questions are, what the verbiage are, then you could say, you know what, I could do it from now on.
Okay.
As long
Yeah.
as they have you started, then you can move forward by yourself. But
Okay.
the beginning part, because it's very stressful, that first part, it's hard for you to get it on your own.
Yeah. I think there
Again,
was.
the IRS agents, they're very nice. When it comes to that part,
Yeah.
with your taxes, your state one, not the federal ones now,
Yeah.
the state ones, they're very nice. They will literally walk you through the process.
That's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
because I think that was one of the hard thing in the beginning, just trying to find the information. You just like, who can, and like business, some business owners don't even want to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Like, can we have some kind of business mentor somewhere? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nobody to be like, hey, bro, I need some help with this paperwork.
Because I tax people.
You know what I'm
Yes. So I'm a mentor, I'm a business mentor. So that's how I am able to speak on all of those different topics
saying? Yeah,
because I have these backgrounds and I'm able to, if you ask one question, I can answer you without saying, oh, I have to look it up.
Yeah.
You
yeah,
know,
We need that.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
good.
Because I think that's why a lot of people be missing that, like who that go to person for those questions, man. You know what I'm saying? And I think we need to have more of this conversation
Yeah.
so that way we can empower, our small business community and make sure that everybody growing properly. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause-
exactly. Yes. So I'm a big thing. You know, if you don't know, you don't know. If you don't know by now,
yeah,
then
just
it's
ask.
your fault because it's
Mm.
that's a lot of us out there trying to show you how it's done and how it's supposed to be done. You don't have to come to me, but I need you to be successful. And for you to be successful, you have to invest.
Yeah, you gotta
I
invest that
know people
knowledge.
don't want to do that, but you have to make that investment. You can't just say, I'm gonna Google it.
Yeah,
Google
Yeah.
University will only take you so
So
far.
far.
You're
Exactly.
going to get stuck somewhere. You won't be able to connect one dot from the other. And what sometimes it's very simple.
yeah,
Like you were like, oh my gosh, it was really that easy. Yes, but you can never, you wouldn't be able to connect it because Google is Google,
yeah,
at
yeah,
the end
yeah.
of the day.
I mean, sometimes you don't know if the information is correct anyway. It's just still somebody's opinion. You know what I'm saying? You don't
Yes,
know. You
and
don't
when
have
you
personal
come,
information.
yes, exactly. So you're getting it from one source, and then that's the other thing with me because I'm very impatient.
Yeah,
I'm starting to because I'm like, you know what? If it's going to take me more than an hour to learn, I'm going to pay somebody to teach it to
I
me.
know that's right.
yeah. Let me see. You can also follow you on Facebook. Uh,
Yes,
you got a Facebook page, got an IG, so they can
yes,
always find you if they want to connect with you and get that information.
yes. I'm on IG. I'm on LinkedIn. IG is my I am Jamisi Aristill. LinkedIn, Jamisi Aristill. Facebook, Jamisi Aristill. I'm not into the TikTok thing. Signed up. I tell you,
Yep.
I didn't last 30 minutes.
But that TikTok goes back with that marketing. Even I myself, I,
Yeah,
I had to start doing the TikTok thing because you need to gravitate to those people. So if you could find a way to kind of incorporate business and something funny, just so they can get their attention, and it's gonna help get their awareness out there. You know what I'm saying?
That's a job in itself.
Yeah,
that
but
is that right here is it's not my strength.
No.
because one
That
thing,
social media part, it's not my strength.
because me as a small business owner, it's like I'm kind of like I'm trying to say the word evolving
Evolving.
Mm-hmm.
because I don't just want to be a small business owner. Like I like to help people with the marketing and also because I see
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people need that marketing side. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a simple video like this right here. This we just started this. We're just bringing more people. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
More awareness. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just get a bigger audience compared to just posting a picture and somebody fly by the picture. They may see it. They may not see it. But
Mm-hmm.
with talking to people, you connecting with people,
Mhm.
they'll be able to reach you more. You know what I'm saying? And that way,
Exactly.
the information gonna get spread out a lot better. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes, of
that's gonna
course.
take time.
And that goes into it, with marketing. The number one thing is connections. When you hear people talk about that all the time, it's all about connections. That's why us business people, we're like LinkedIn because it's all about the connection.
Yeah,
You hear people say, "Oh, you could be the connected with the person that owns NBC, and you could
yeah,
just send them a message. Maybe on Facebook they won't answer you, but if they're on LinkedIn, they will answer you.
yeah.
So it's
One
all
thing,
about that connection, and once you make that connection, you know, their people is your people also. Whatever they have, you share that together.
that's why I tell people, man, the biggest thing they could do for a small business person is to share whatever they're selling with some, whether it's on Facebook, whatever social media they have, to share it on their timeline. You helping that person spread the word. It's kind of like the word of mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But basically, Facebook charging people for that word of mouth now.
And they don't even spread it like they supposed
Yeah.
to.
So if you know
No, they
somebody
don't.
they're having a business, it costs you nothing to share it. You know what I'm saying? And you could help somebody else on your timeline by sharing that information. You know what I'm saying? Even if it doesn't have nothing to do with you. When you
Yes.
share it, somebody else might be looking for that same information. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And people be selfish with that. It's just a little click. Like share.
That's why I entered the coaching world, because in my community, the Haitian community and also our Black community,
Yeah.
that part they always keep stuff secret. Like everything is a big deal.
Yeah.
Like it's not. It's
It's not
not.
that serious.
Stop.
And that's how we're gonna grow. Like by
sharing.
each one reach one, right? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have a problem with sharing information. And actually, Derek, you know what I'm saying? He's one of my good friends. We always go back and forth with information, man. You know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
he actually the one that put me on the class, because he was on his way to taking a class too. They're like, yo, man, you can take the class. I'm like, why, for real? Because a year ago, 2 years ago, when I thought about taking a business class, all they had was the business course, the business administration.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can they broke it down to more entrepreneurship, the business specialist. So you can take smaller classes without having to spend like a 4-year degree. You can go focus into like the topic you want to understand. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I'm glad they're doing that now, because when I was in school, it's just like everybody was doing business administration.
Yeah, but nobody want to spend 4 years in college to learn about business. You know what I'm saying? They want to just go straight to the business part. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And then the other thing also I wanted to mention about that, with information, everybody's in the business to make money, right?
Right.
So sometimes, they may not want to share everything that they use, especially if whatever they have is what they sell, right? So they don't want to give it all away when it's like, okay, well, how am I supposed to get? If I'm giving everything here for free, how am I supposed to get paid?
Yeah, especially you in the business. You know what I'm saying? You're more of a business coach. You know what I'm saying? So, and you walk people through the whole process. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes, sharing your stuff is like, you're not coaching somebody. It's like, hey man, go to Jamaica if you want to start your business.
Yeah, people are weird about that. I don't know.
It's not a big deal, man. So going to that point, everybody share this live right now so we get this word out there. So Jamesia and a lot of these small businesses can get the word out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. If you wanting to get, some people, they have an idea, they don't know how to get their idea into a business. That's what we teach them, to have that business, and it's all about having the proper foundation. That's what I'm strict about. It's having that foundation. You having to have bringing policies and procedures, stuff like that. So when you have a policy, how, if you're going to charge for this shirt, I'm going to charge this. And then what am I going to do if if it was in Florida, so I charge this. What if it's an out of state? Do I charge the same thing?
Right.
But then you don't keep that on in your head. It needs to be in paper. It needs to be all writing down. So if you're not here, somebody else is here, that person could just come in and just read through your notes and said, oh, that's what that is. That's what I could do, you
Okay,
know?
yeah,
And then even calling your customers, having a script. When you go into a business, what do you see they do?
yeah,
They
you got
show you how to talk to their customers. When they, whoever they're gonna be like, they tell you, oh, this is what you have to say. Hi, my name is Jamesia. Thanks for calling. Blah
yeah,
blah blah. How may I help you? That's the script. The same thing goes for your business. When somebody call you, how are you answering that phone call?
yeah. So
And then
you
how
you gotta
exactly?
bring yourself properly.
Yes,
So
and that
people take you
needs to be
seriously.
in paper.
Yeah, you got, if not, nobody gonna take you seriously as a business if you don't have that proper branding.
Excuse me.
You got the AC blasting over there, huh?
Yes, it's right on. It's my separate little office in the garage.
It's that Haitian blood, man. We don't like that cold air, man. I understand. You see that? Hey, shout out to support all those Haitians out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We know the struggle. Everybody know the struggle, man. We're just trying to make it out here, man, in America. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. We have to, we have to try to put ourselves out there, and
Yeah.
that way we could stand out and do us. It's just we're in 2021. We can't just have somebody take control of you anymore. If you want to take control of you, you have to make the decisions and say, you know what, I'm gonna take control and I'm gonna do this. And this is what I'm gonna do to make sure I have everything I need for me and my business to prosper. Because before, it's like you working for someone, but then at the end of the day, that person is driving that Ferrari that you want,
Yeah.
but then you can't have it. But if you had your own business and you work towards it, you do what you need to do, make it into where it needs to be successful.
Yeah, because
You
you giving
too can
somebody else,
have that too.
you got that knowledge. You giving somebody else all that knowledge instead of using it for yourself. Because
Yes.
I've actually asked my managers, because I work for a pharmaceutical company that's been in business for over 200 years. I'm like, you're the manager. You have business knowledge. Why you don't have your own business? Like, you prefer to. I guess that's the trick. Some people prefer to manage somebody else's business instead of running their own business. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah, not everybody have that entrepreneurship spirit in them, and
yeah,
plus in America, they're that's not what we are taught. They don't teach you to have that. They teach you when you finish school, you go to school, you get a college degree. When you finish with your college degree, you go into a job.
yeah, yeah. You got nobody wants you to be owners. They want you to be workers and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, because that's the way to keep you under control. That's how they keep you under that. And they know specifically what you coming in, what you bringing in, what you're supposed to pay them, and
Yeah,
what's your house, which place you, because with that, they're going to know what you're going to be able to afford. It's all tied in together. If you're an entrepreneur, you decide where you live, you
yeah.
decide how you make money, you decide what to report, you decide what to pay. Like you make that decision. Not nobody's gonna make that for you.
Yeah, we still gotta pay the government their fair share. If not, they're coming for you.
Oh yeah, we're not trying to, and then that's why we don't do anything that's under the table.
Yeah,
Everything is
Legit.
up
legitimate. You know what I'm saying?
here. Everything is in paper. Everything is accounted for. But at the end of the day, we make that decision to do it. It wasn't somebody else's decision to do it.
So, as a tax professional, like, what are some of the documents that a person starting off they need to focus on, like when it comes to tax time? You know what I mean? Are they like receipts, mileage, depending on the business? Like, what are some of the stuff they could be paying attention to?
Yeah. So if you if this is your first time, then number one, if you use your auto, then you need to have all your mileage. You need to have one spreadsheet that you could keep your mileage up to. I know they have apps
Yeah,
nowadays that you could keep track of that, but me, I'm old school. Okay,
you
I
want
write
paper.
them in paper. So the day that I sit in the car, I write how much my mileage is, and if I'm going somewhere, by the time I get back, I write how much my mileage is.
So it has to be business related though, not just because you're going on a personal.
Yeah, it's business related. Yes, you don't do personal in there, you know.
What about when you pick your
And
team?
if you,
I can't do count.
for instance, having to go, like I know a lot of people, like you may
Yeah.
have to go to the post office, right,
Right.
to deliver stuff or to put it there. That right here is an expense. So that comes about the your auto.
Right.
It's the expense. If you want to charge, if you want to charge the company for doing that, you can too.
Yeah. Yeah, Ken said thank you for sharing. I'm glad she's tuning in. You know what I'm saying? These are valuable information, and
Very.
thank you everybody for tuning in. Please share this live, so that we could get the word out there. Because there's a lot of stuff that people have questions about, but they're afraid to ask. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Somebody
please
do have.
ask if you guys have any questions, anything else that I could answer for you. Please ask me, and I'll be able to get that for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let me put up the information again. Uh, she do a lot of also if you need a notary public, taxes, legal document preparation. Do you do any of that immigration stuff too?
Yes, I do immigration. So I'm a
Oh,
I
paralegal
got
by
somebody for
heart.
you.
you got a family law, divorces. Oh, there you go, immigration.
I got somebody for you then.
Document translation. Hey, she a one
And
stop shop.
that's French Creole now. I only do French Creole with the documentation
With
with
the documentation. Okay.
translating.
Okay.
Wait, no Spanish?
No, I actually I can read Spanish, but
But now
I
I'm
can't
sure
speak
you
it.
know somebody in your network that you can refer that person to. You know what I'm saying? But
Yes,
yeah,
sir,
I mean,
I do.
I have somebody for you that has some questions now. Do you charge by the hour?
yeah. How does your service work?
Well, it depends which services. So the paralegal services, it's kind of like it's document preparation, right?
Okay.
So if somebody, for instance, have immigration stuff, that the first consult is free. I'm not going to charge somebody to know what they want,
Right.
and that was the whole point of me having the business to save people money.
Yeah.
I don't, if anything that you don't have to get an attorney for, then I could help you with it. If you get sued, but sometimes people think if I get sued I have to get an
Yeah, yeah,
attorney.
yeah, Lord, yeah.
You don't have to. You could
I
do
mean,
it yourself,
yeah.
but it,
Even with
it really
divorces and stuff
depends
too.
which venue it is.
Yeah,
you
even with
know
divorces, a lot of people they want to go. A paralegal can file all the paperwork.
Yeah,
Technically,
the paralegal could do that for you. You
yeah,
don't have to go and get an attorney to do it for $5,000 because I
yeah.
know that's the fee they charge.
You just gotta. They'll tell you everything that you need to do. You just gotta file the paperwork yourself. Because I mean,
Yeah, you file
paralegal,
it yourself,
yeah,
but then the information that's in there is
is the
correct.
correct
And
information.
that's
That's
with the
it's
immigration stuff too, right?
Yeah,
Yes, I do immigration. So with my people right now, that keeps me busy with the TPS
yeah.
for the Haitians. Um, we do that. So how it works? So if somebody saying, "Well, I would like to have your services for either immigration, um, paralegal," then I will want to know specifically what do you need.
Right.
Right.
So in that consult, I would try to figure out exactly what that situation is. So once I know specifically what I'm gonna do for you, then we write a contract. And
Okay.
that's the other thing for my small businesses. You need to have
They got a
contract
contract. Yeah.
contracts because
They gotta sign it.
we don't start any work without having that signed paper
Yeah.
beforehand.
I like that.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not gonna. I got to work on that myself too, man. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? There's a lot of stuff that that's actually taking the business class have taught me. Like for example, I've been using Microsoft Words forever. Excel, all that stuff. But when you know the detail and the extra stuff you can do in the software, it goes a lot further, man. You know what I'm saying? So now
Yeah,
a lot of
Excel
people,
is huge, and the same thing you're paying some accounting software for. That's what Excel does. But if you don't know how to work Excel, it's best if you go ahead and just pay it. But then it's like it's pointless if you're trying to figure it out on your own. Because then it's gonna take you too. It's gonna be too much on you. You want to focus on making that money. You don't want to focus too much on other things where you could just pay it and then make your life easier. Because we don't want to make our life harder. We want to make it easier. And that's the whole thing about skills. When you in the business, your mindset should be to gain skills.
Yeah, you got to gain more knowledge.
And how you gain your skill is, you have to pull that wallet and pay.
Yeah, I mean, knowledge is power, man. And the more knowledge you gain, the more powerful you're gonna be.
Yes, yes.
You're gonna be more successful. So, hey, I know we don't went longer than we're supposed to. We appreciate your knowledge. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of great tips, a lot of great topic. We do appreciate it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We always welcome for another topic. Especially with the TPS stuff. I might have to go down to Texas and bring some of these folks over here in Florida.
Look, he plays too much, right?
Hey, man. A lot of people don't understand the struggle.
We don't have enough room, but maybe two of you. Yeah.
People don't understand the struggle of Haitians in America, man. So we all gotta stick together and help each other out, man. So
yes, now with the new people that's coming in, they're not coming for TPS. They want asylum.
Yeah, and you know what? Can we touch up on that? Because I think a lot of people don't quite understand. I know they may hear political asylum. They quite don't understand what that is, especially American people. Like, can you touch up on that? Just for no extra minute.
Especially.
I'm not saying it, but I'm not talking about.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, so basically what that is if you had some type of issue in your country, like it's Haiti, they had their Haitian, the president was assassinated. That's qualification number one. And the country is upside down, like nobody's safe, And then right now it's kidnapping and all this stuff that they're doing. That's number two, And then number three is basically the person themselves. Something happened to them.
Yeah,
like if like somebody was telling me, sometimes they exaggerate things, but somebody was telling me that their brother was kidnapped, and then because they didn't have the money, the brother they killed the brother, right? So then they send out a message to the other brother saying that if we're gonna come after you next.
So basically, yeah, you don't feel safe going back to the country. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So then, in that particular situation, you qualify for asylum.
Because there's a lot of countries America give political asylum to that a lot of people don't know about this. So when they hear Haiti and political asylum, they think it's just going to be about Haitians. There's a lot of people right now qualified for political asylum.
No, listen, Haitian only account to 3% of that, because all the other countries, there's other countries. I mean, look at the other Afghanis, whatever.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because I think as Black people, we always get the bad end of the stick. You know what I'm saying? But while everybody else is getting catered to, getting accommodated. You know what I'm saying? So what? It's bad to give Haitian political asylum while you're giving Afghan political asylum?
Yeah, then that makes no sense. If you're gonna give it to one person, you have to give it to the other. And then that's the part that got me, with the whole situation. It's like that's what the whole administration said they were gonna do different, and then all of a sudden it's happening under your watch, and you're not saying anything. That's a problem.
Because they are there soliciting votes to get reelected, but now when it's time to pay up, now all these Haitians getting pushed to the side. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then it's and now I know now they're starting to get the hang of it. Now they're starting to tell people, people are starting to share things, and now I know the Reverend, what's his name again? Now he's getting into it. But the beginning, it was just us Haitians trying to say, hey, wait a minute, we're not supposed to go through that.
Yeah.
It's not just us that's over there. Why is it just us that's getting that treatment?
Exactly. Yeah, because I mean, the more you know what I'm saying. So I think we got to keep spreading the information so people can better understand why. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And this would be another great
Yeah.
topic, I believe. You know?
Yeah, that's gonna be another topic because that right there in itself will take a long time.
Yeah, we gotta pick a day.
We're gonna call you up.
Yeah, we gotta pick a day and dig deep into that because I think a lot of people need to understand more about immigration laws and how it affects different people. Your neighbor can't be going through an immigration situation that you don't even know. You know what I'm saying? Even though they've been in America for 50 years.
Yeah, and I have to say, being an American, I didn't learn a lot about the whole immigration thing until I met my husband. You know, and I'm glad that I didn't know about it because it has been people that have come into my life after the fact, and it's like I can relate to them, and I think it should be a bit more awareness about how privileged Americans are. I'll say that because it's true.
All right, yeah. So we're gonna end it right now because if not, we'll sit out here all night long. You know what I'm saying? Because it's got so much information to put out there. So we're gonna break it up and we'll talk, and then we can connect again, and maybe we'll have another segment just on the immigration laws and how different people. Because I know you provide that service, so there could be something else they can call you for in case they have some questions. You know
Yes.
Because now there's gonna be a lot of people having friends and stuff going through immigration issues. You know what I'm saying? Because the Haitians coming to Florida. What do y'all look at it now?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
Thank you, Janicia.
You're welcome. It was very nice. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me.
Hey man, you're welcome, man. Let me go ahead and put up the website and everything. Come contact her. Send her an email right through the website.
Yes. You send that email right through there, or you can just send me. My email is very easy. info@mynamejamicearistille.com.
She does everything, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, together, man, we're gonna make a change, man. You know what I'm saying? And we appreciate you, and thank everybody for watching.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you guys. I'll talk to you guys again.
All right, thank you. Later.